Alrighty, CSV World, we're back again. That's me. We're also sharing it on the group for the Underground Cigar Shop and Lounge in beautiful Fort Worth, Texas. Thank you, Don, once again for allowing us to share. This week we will be doing the Rocky Patel Freedom. Now we're doing this one again because back at the beginning of 2013, if I'm not mistaken, was the night of New Year's Eve. We did a two-part tribute to my father who had just passed. So this time it's all about the Rocky Patel Freedom. This torpedo is 6 1/4 by 52. It's got a nice, as I get a regrip of it, it's got a nice Ecuadorian Habano wrapper, Nicaraguan binder, and Nicaraguan filler. So, as we've been saying here lately, would you say we fire this sumbitch? Around the light, it's a very mild smoke, so it's got a little bit of fruitiness to it, maybe like a black cherry. So why don't we let this thing go and see where it brings us. Now, the thing with the Rocky Patel Freedom, it's ironic that they brought this line out to defend the freedoms that are put on the line constantly. You know, the constant attacks from the federal government trying to infringe on our right to enjoy these things. And boy, do I really enjoy this. This stick actually was gifted by the folks over at Rocky Patel for a Veterans Day contest they had last year. Ironically enough, we're coming up on Veterans Day again. And this year, CigarSmokingVets at the downtown Nashville Veterans Day Parade, which will be Tuesday, November the 11th. Something that goes along the lines with the freedom. I'll be handing out some cigars that are known as America. Come on down, you'll see me. You get to thank veterans. The sticks that we'll be handing out are for our veterans, to thank you for your service. Everybody's more than welcome to come down. Thank veterans in your own way, whether it be with some good cigars. A nice hug. Come down. This is your time to show your appreciation to our veterans. Stick around. We got more of this review coming right up. Alrighty, now we've got it nice and heated up. The flavors are really coming through. It's definitely a very strong on the cocoa flavoring on the palate. It's got a nice hint of woodsiness, and that initial of the black cherry is kind of died down. It's more on the retrohale than in the draw itself. So we're gonna cut it by thirds. Stick around and we'll see if and how it transitions. Alright, about 15 minutes in, 20 minutes in, excuse me, and see the ash is holding on real good. Comes off in a nice solid chunk, and there's been no real transition in flavor, other than the hint of black cherry at the retrohale has really kind of died off. So it tastes like a little more spice coming in. Stick around for the second third. We'll give you more in detail, as I stutter as can be. About 33 minutes into it, and we've reached the halfway point. The black cherry has all but disappeared on the Rocky Patel Freedom, but it's bringing up some more spices. Gives a nice kick to your mouth, I'd really say. The cocoa is still there, so why don't we keep going and let you know any further transitions, as well as what's coming up here in the glorious month of October and our thankful plans for November. All right, about 40 minutes into it, and we're about to enter the final third, so we'll go ahead and take the band off. No issues. There's been absolutely no changes from the halfway point to here. It is still very nice on the cocoa, with some slight hints still of the woodsiness on the retrohale, and definitely kicking it up in the spices as we wind out the end of this second third. We're going to get into this final third, and you know what's coming up after that. You know, I constantly get the question on torpedoes: how much should you cut off of the torpedo? Unlike a traditional cigar where it's just capped off, and my answer is always the same. Depending on how tight of a draw you want is how much you want to cut off of it. I took maybe a quarter to a half an inch off, and it gives me a nice draw that's not too loose and not too tight. So that one is on you, however tight of a draw that you would like, or however loose you may want it. Take about a quarter to a half an inch off, and you got the type of draw that I personally like. And you're trying to say that when you got construction over your shoulder. I can feel it caught in a drift. Even a blind man can see the river from the ocean lineups never come true. I'm in fooling myself if I never something like this wouldn't happen to you. I said, baby, falling, so there's no use to fight. And if he starts calling, let him know you're with me for the rest of the night. If only I remembered how it began. We started this last week, before doing the final third as well as the wrap up, and I got some good feedback from it, so I wanted to do it again. I ain't gonna lie to you. But our veterans, I'm gonna take my hat off for it too. Our veterans' lives are falling apart. To quote a friend of mine, their lives are in pieces. They're coming back from combat. They are, in a lot of instances, returning to civilian life, not fitting in, At least that's what it feels like. The memories are constantly on edge. Grab a veteran. Give him a hug. When they die at this rate, by their own hand, each and every day, show them that they're loved. Show them that their service is not in vain. I was there. Not too many people know it. But now you, the CSV world, underground, now you know. Let's put the pieces back together. Alright, now I've lost all track of time. I do know that we're under 1 hour, and the flavor profile has pretty much stayed consistent throughout the entire stick, with the cocoa definitely there. There's now being some strong notes of leather, as well as the slight hints of woodsiness, and the black cherry has returned, except this time instead of on the retrohale, taste more of that black cherry on the finish. And the closer I get to the nub, the stronger the that finish is with the black cherry. We'll be back with a wrap up. Stick around. Alrighty, now this has been the Rocky Patel Freedom in Torpedo. Started off as a 6 1/4 by 52 cigar of Ecuadorian Habano Oscuro wrapper, Nicaraguan binder, and Nicaraguan filler. Started off with, from the light, having some black cherry notes in there. It was real light. It transitioned really quickly into a cocoa with some hints of woodsiness, and the black cherry came back down to the retrohale. That lasted all the way up until about the second half, right about the halfway point, I should say, where the black cherry was kind of falling down, and some more zesty, spicy, just some zing came on that retrohale. It stayed that way right up until the final third, where it introduced on top of the cocoa some strong notes of leather, still some slight hints of the woodsiness, and it just kept adding more spices, and the black cherry returned. So it's question time. Will I have another Rocky Patel Freedom? As long as the folks over at Rocky Patel continue to make the Freedom, or as long as I can find Freedom, I fought for it. See the hats? Absolutely, I most certainly will have some more Rocky Patel Freedom. Now here we are approaching mid-October. And Saturday, October the 25th, over at the Underground Cigar Shop and Lounge, here's the address, they're doing their first anniversary, their first birthday, if you will. Go on over, stop by, tell Don that you saw me on Cigar Smoking Vets. He'll give you an extra hi. Maybe a thanks for coming. I kid. Don is a great guy. He's given us the freedom to post our reviews on his group's page. And Don, we very much, everybody involved here. And thank you very much for giving us that platform. And if I can get back to Don real quick, Don has given me the freedom that every Thursday, what do we call it, Throwback Thursday? We've gone all the way back to the intro to this channel and the intro to Cigar Smoking Vets. And every Throwback Thursday, we go in succession as to every cigar we reviewed, as well as our veterans issues that we have put forth. And you'll probably see more of those veteran issues this winter once it starts getting a little too chilly. You know, they say 70-70 for perfect cigar. Well, once it drops below 65 degrees and humidity drops below 65%, then it wouldn't be fair to the cigar, so we're going to start doing our veterans issue. We've been touching on it, and hopefully real soon we'll have the video to show what we will be handing out. I'm probably going to have a few friends that have followed this YouTube channel from the beginning. 2 years ago, July 29th of 2012, I believe it was. And we're going to be handing out some good cigars. Not that you can't find good cigars out there, but we're not handing out drugstore, just, oh yeah, thanks. And we're going to be handing out some quality cigars to thank you, the veterans like myself and so many others who watch these videos, to thank you for your service to this country. And just like last week, I'll say it again this week. If you have any functions, cigar related and or veteran related, please message me. Our page is right here, our very own page, facebook.com/CigarSmokingVets14. And we will put it on one of these videos. Other than that, it's been another great cigar. Rocky Patel Freedom. This was a Torpedo 6 1/4 by 52. So until next week's review, or if you happen to see me online, happy smoking.